What separates the person who almost succeeds from the one who actually wins? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's not even intelligence. It's discipline. True, deep, unshakable discipline is the force that can turn chaos into control, fear into focus, and pain into power. But here's the twist: in a world dominated by instant gratification, endless notifications, and comfort-seeking behavior, discipline has become a form of rebellion. Most people are prisoners of their desires, slaves to urges they cannot control. But the disciplined person becomes the master of their own desires. They command their impulses, delay gratification, and walk paths that most people are too afraid to tread. As Niccolo Machiavelli once said, "It is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles." Meaning, power doesn't come from the position itself. It comes from the internal strength that makes you worthy of that position. Discipline is not about rules, suffering, or denying yourself joy. It's about power, about shaping yourself into someone so steady, so focused, that even when the world around you crumbles, you remain unmoved. Imagine this. What if, in just 37 minutes, you could learn exactly how to build that kind of discipline, not through motivation, hype, or shortcuts, but through deep, rooted control over your mind, emotions, and actions, so you can take full command of your life. In this video, we'll walk through 6 powerful principles, each revealing a different side of discipline. These aren't vague ideas or feel-good tips. They are raw, practical truths you can apply immediately. Some will challenge you, some will trigger you, but all will set you free if you are ready to listen. And here's the reality: you won't master discipline in a single day. But if you truly absorb what's in this video, you will never fall into the same traps again. Because once you understand how Machiavellian discipline works, you stop being manipulated by the world and start bending it to your will. Why trust this? Because history rewards the disciplined. From Marcus Aurelius writing his meditations amid the chaos of war, to Napoleon sleeping just 3 hours a night to build empires, to modern-day warriors battling every day to stay on course, they all knew one truth: he who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being stronger than your weakest excuse. It's not about always feeling ready. It's about showing up, especially when you don't. And it's not about being fearless. It's about acting despite fear. You watching this video tells me you are already different. You want something more. You want to stop falling back into old patterns. You want to take your life back. And the good news: you can, but only if you stay with me until the end. I'm going to take you step by step, from mastering the inner mindset all the way to practical behaviors that make discipline almost automatic. This isn't military-style rigidity or punishment. It's about a Machiavellian mindset where patience, control, and power are your weapons. You are not here to live softly. You are here to live powerfully, and it all starts with discipline. So, before we begin, like this video if you're tired of feeling stuck. Comment as we go, I want to hear your affirmations. Share this with someone who needs this mindset. Subscribe if you want more brutal truth and wisdom. And don't skip any part of the video Each point builds on the last. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose discipline over desire. Number 1. Discipline begins when you break your agreement with comfort. Discipline doesn't start with action, it starts with deciding to break loyalty to comfort. Most people think they are lazy, but laziness is not the cause, it's the symptom. The real reason you procrastinate, avoid challenge, or fail to act is because you're still in a relationship with comfort. You still believe rest equals happiness. You still think avoiding stress is self-love. But Machiavelli knew better. The wise man does at once what the fool does finally. Discipline is the art of doing what's necessary before it becomes urgent. Your brain resists discomfort because it equates it with danger. It craves the short-term pleasure of comfort. So what's the solution? Make a new internal contract. Every time discomfort arises, say, "This is my new home. I grow here." Growth happens in friction, not ease. Every skill, every dream, every victory comes from walking through resistance. Comfort is seductive, but it quietly kills potential. Machiavelli didn't sugarcoat reality. Growth won't feel good, it will feel like war. But that's where self-respect is earned. When you win battles with yourself, the world begins to respect you too. Start today. Wake up when you say you will, no snooze. Do something difficult every day. Cut off one comfort habit this week, whether scrolling, junk food, or venting. Each intentional choice strengthens your identity. Abraham Lincoln said, "Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Fight for control, break the chain of comfort, and you build unshakable discipline." Drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose growth. Number 2. The discipline of delayed victory. Our culture celebrates speed, quick wins, and instant gratification, but real discipline requires mastering the art of waiting. Victory is delayed not because you're losing, but because you're preparing. Machiavelli wrote, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves." Discipline is not only doing the hard thing, now it's having the patience to keep going when the reward is far away. Can you keep building when nobody notices? Can you train when there's no praise? Can you plant seeds you won't harvest for years? That is the discipline that separates the powerful from the powerless. A child cries for immediate reward. An adult suffers silently, works in the dark, and lets time prove them right. That's delayed victory. It's discipline in its purest spiritual form. Chase instant results, and you become fragile. Delay victory, and your will grows unbreakable. Machiavelli understood power is knowing when to strike, timing your moves, being both fox and lion. There's strength in patience, in moving deliberately, because the world moves fast and those who master delay become unstoppable. But here's the problem. Your mind has been trained by algorithms. Swipe, click, scroll, like by everything happens fast. So when life moves slow, you panic. That's why you give up so quickly. You expect to start a business and make money in a month, get fit in 2 weeks, or build confidence after reading just one book. But here's the harsh truth. Real transformation moves like a glacier, not a spark. It takes months of invisible effort, hundreds of small wins nobody claps for. That's what builds your inner infrastructure, your real power. Ask yourself, would you rather have fast success that fades or slow success that lasts forever? The fast path is built on hype. The slow path is built on discipline. Here's how to train your mind to delay victory. 1. Set long timelines. Instead of trying to win in 30 days, ask, who can I become in 3 years? This resets expectations and gives your mind the peace to build without pressure. 2. Fall in love with the process. Discipline isn't about reaching a finish line. It's about enjoying the climb. When you value effort over outcome, you become unstoppable. 3. Track effort, not results. Measure success by consistency, not by immediate gain. Did you show up today? That's a win. Stack those wins. 4. Stay off the scoreboard. Stop comparing. Stop checking who's ahead. Run your race. Let your consistency speak. Here's the Machiavellian truth. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. You don't need to show everyone. Now you need to become someone victory eventually bows to. And that only happens when you delay it. Let me get personal. We've all given up too soon on goals, dreams, versions of ourselves we started chasing. When results didn't arrive fast enough, we backed off, carrying silent regret. But not anymore. This is the moment you say, I don't need it now. I just need to know it's coming. That quiet, stubborn belief is your power. Discipline isn't loud. It whispers, I'll wait. I'll build. I'll rise. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I build with patience. 3. Control your emotions or be controlled. Imagine this. You've got a plan, momentum, goals, and then one comment ruins your day. One emotion hijacks your mind. One wave of doubt makes you walk away from everything you've been building. That's not lack of motivation, it's lack of emotional discipline. Machiavelli believed power doesn't come from perfect conditions. It comes from mastering yourself under pressure. The first method for judging a ruler's intelligence is to observe the men around him. Other words, how people react under stress, how they behave when things go wrong. That's where real discipline shows. Most people are emotional slaves. They react, they panic, they quit when it gets hard. Here's the brutal truth. If you don't control your emotions, someone else will, using your fear, anger, or jealousy against you. That's why Machiavellian discipline isn't just routines, it's emotional neutrality. The person calm under pressure is the real threat. When others panic, they plan. When others react, they respond. When others cry, they calculate. A general once said, I never let my enemies see me sweat. If they know I'm shaken, I've already lost half the war. Life works the same way. Get triggered and you hand control to someone else. The solution: train emotional control like a muscle. 1. Pause before reacting. Just 1 second changes everything. 2. Name the emotion. This is anger. This is fear. So you separate from it. 3. Channel emotions into action. Don't suppress them, use them. Pain fuels your workouts. Anger fuels discipline. Fear fuels preparation. 4. Protect your emotional energy. Not every event or person deserves your reaction. Silence is power. Distance is protection. Be rooted in purpose while others fight with emotions. We've all regretted words spoken in anger, decisions made in fear, quitting too soon because doubt crept in. But that changes today. Emotional control is the root of all discipline. When your emotions stop leading you, your vision guides you. You become calmer, sharper, harder to manipulate, more respected. Machiavelli warned, those closest to you can be your biggest threat if emotions cloud judgment. Live by this. Strong emotions are storms they pass, but the tree that bends with the wind survives. Be that tree, feel, but stay rooted in logic, values, and purpose. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I control my emotions. Number 4, the discipline of saying no. You can't master life without mastering time, and you can't master time without the courage to say one word, no. In a world that glorifies yes to invite distractions, obligations, saying no becomes a radical act of control. Yes to opportunities, yes to distractions, yes to obligations. Discipline is the art of refusal. Niccolo Machiavelli warned against trying to please everyone. A prince earns respect either by being a true friend or a formidable enemy. Clarity creates respect. Vagueness, agreeability, and indecision invite chaos. Here's the harsh reality. Most people are overcommitted and under-disciplined. They say yes to everything, then wonder why they feel exhausted, overwhelmed, and lost. They agree to things that drain them, accept invitations out of guilt, take on tasks they don't believe in just to avoid discomfort. Every yes to something meaningless is a no to your own growth. Every time you say yes out of obligation, you're trading your most powerful currency, time, for things that don't build you. The solution is developing the discipline of boundaries, not soft, maybe later, or I'll think about it. Boundaries but hard, clear, unshakable no's. Why is this difficult? Because most of us are trained to be liked, not respected. We fear rejection, we fear misunderstanding, we fear discomfort, but ask yourself, what's more painful, temporary discomfort or a lifetime of resentment? Machiavelli didn't build power by pleasing people. He built it by controlling access, time, and emotional investment. The disciplined person guards their energy like a king guards his castle. Here's how to start. 1. Say no to draining people, the ones who thrive on drama. Never grow, but always complain. Expect everything and offer nothing. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your life. Your peace is your responsibility. 2. Say no to shallow pleasures, mindless scrolling, empty entertainment, cheap dopamine that leaves you hollow. Discipline chooses long-term satisfaction over quick fixes. 3. Say no to overcommitting. You are not a machine. You don't need to attend every event, reply instantly, or solve everyone's problems. Respect your time and others will follow. 4. Say no to old versions of yourself. Stop giving power to habits, behaviors, or people that belong to the person you used to be. Each yes to the old you delays the emergence of who you're meant to become. Burn that bridge. Discipline is as much about who you no longer choose to be as what you actively do. Have you ever said yes to a plan and regretted it? Agreed to help someone and felt drained or resentful? Spent time on meaningless tasks while your goals remained distant? That's the cost of failing to protect your yes with the power of no. Discipline is not doing more, it's doing less, but with precision, focus, and intention. Powerful people don't chase everything, they focus on what matters and eliminate the rest. Think like a ruler. Your time is your army. Don't send it into battles that don't serve your kingdom. As Machiavelli said, it is safer to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. For you, it's better to be respected than liked. Saying no with clarity may create resistance at first, but eventually it earns respect from others and from yourself. The discipline of saying no is the foundation of saying yes to real power. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I protect my time. I say no with power. Number 5. Discipline means moving without motivation. Waiting to feel like it is that trap most people act only when inspired, when the stars align, when mood permits. Motivation is weak. Discipline is divine. Machiavelli didn't trust feelings. He trusted action. It is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles. Don't wait to feel important. Do important things, whether you feel like it or not. The world doesn't reward your feelings. It rewards your consistency. Consider this contrast. A man who waits for motivation becomes a slave to moods. A man who moves regardless of motivation becomes unstoppable. No one and nothing controls him. Discipline is rare because everyone wants change without discomfort. They want excitement, applause, dopamine. They quit the moment it gets boring, tiring, or inconvenient. But greatness cannot be built that way. If your habits, work, or purpose rely on how you feel, you are unreliable to yourself and others. Motivation says, I feel good today, so I'll go to the gym. Discipline says, I don't care how I feel. I'm going. Motivation says, I'm inspired tonight, so I'll work on my goals. Discipline says, inspired or not, I've made a commitment, and I follow through. Machiavelli valued predictable power. Rulers who endure, show up, and don't bend to emotional winds. The disciplined man is more dangerous than the motivated man because he acts without waiting. How do you build discipline without motivation? Don't force suffering, design a system that makes action automatic. 1. Tie actions to identity. Stop saying I want to write. Say I'm a writer. Stop saying I should work out. Say I'm the kind of person who trains daily. Acting from identity makes discipline natural. 2. Create rituals, not routines. Rituals are sacred, infused with meaning. Make workouts a form of prayer, reading a conversation with greatness, planning a silent war council. Meaningful action doesn't require motivation. 3. Make decisions once. Stop deciding daily if you'll act. Discipline is deciding once and following through. Machiavelli said, the promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present, yet you keep your word to yourself. For reward execution, not emotion. At day's end, don't ask, did I feel inspired? Ask, did I show up? Let consistency become your confidence, your power, and your legacy. Let your past disciplines speak for your future success. When you live this way, you stop waiting and start moving. You stop negotiating and start leading. You stop being reactive and become intentional. People will wonder how you're so consistent, how you do so much with so little, how you rise while others are still thinking. The answer is simple. You act regardless of emotion. That's Machiavellian power. You don't chase feelings, you command your future. And that's when you become dangerous, because nothing can stop you. There will be days when you're tired, when your heart is broken, when your mind is loud with doubt, and yet you'll still show up. Discipline is not a mood, it's a message. No matter what happens around me, I stay loyal to who I'm becoming. That kind of loyalty, that quiet, relentless movement, is how kings are made. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I don't wait to feel ready. I move with discipline. Number 6. Your pain is your training ground. You've been lied to about pain. They told you it's wrong, that you should avoid it, numb it, or run from it. But Machiavelli knew the truth. The wise man does at once what the fool does finally. And pain, whether emotional, mental, or spiritual, is not your enemy's, your call to rise. It's your personal crucible, the fire that either burns you or builds you. Pain is not punishment. It's preparation. Every disciplined person, every warrior, leader, or icon you admire was forged in pain. They became disciplined because they endured what others ran from. Most people want transformation without pressure, growth without discomfort, change without chaos, but discipline isn't born in comfort. It's born in suffering that you refuse to let break you. That heartbreak, betrayal, loss, failure, humiliation, doubt, and dark nights of the soul weren't just wounds. They were weapons forged for you, sharpening your focus, preparing you to rise stronger. Machiavelli understood. To command others, you must first command yourself in chaos, standing tall when everything hurts, showing up when your heart is broken, saying, I'm still here even when I want to disappear. Pain builds discipline in 4 ways. 1. It exposes weaknesses when comfortable. You don't know your limits. But pain shows where you break and where to rebuild stronger. 2. It destroys illusions. Suffering strips away lies, opinions, and empty praise, giving clarity that builds discipline. 3. It creates emotional endurance. Trial, you endure without quitting, raises your threshold, making you emotionally bulletproof. 4. It builds fire rage from being broken but not destroyed channels into purpose, making you wake earlier, train harder, and focus deeper until nothing can stop you. The most dangerous person is not the one who's never been hurt, but the one who's been broken and turned pain into power. You're not soft or destroyed, you're being refined. This version of you, forged in pain, will command respect, silence rooms, and change the world. Your current struggles, quiet depression, loneliness, unseen responsibility are your gym, your battlefield, your Machiavellian furnace. Show up daily. Don't flinch, don't complain, don't run. You will emerge unbreakable. Machiavelli believed the strongest leaders earned power through fire. It is better to act and repent than not act and regret. Don't waste. Numb or escape your pain, use it. Turn it into fuel, strength, a sword. Drop this affirmation. My pain is my power. My suffering sharpens my discipline. Take a breath. You've just walked through 6 brutally honest, deeply strategic, and emotional lessons, each pulling you closer to an untouchable version of yourself. This isn't motivation, it's transformation, beginning and ending with one word: discipline. Not shallow routines or productivity hacks, but soul-rooted discipline that becomes your way of life, building structure when your mind wants chaos, saying no so you can say yes to yourself, moving without motivation, owning your time like a ruler, turning pain into power, and showing up no matter what. Machiavelli never trusted weakness disguised as kindness. He believed in power through awareness, self-command, and ruthless clarity. You've just tapped into that energy, but this is only the spark. The world is chaotic, loud, and full of distractions that will try daily to pull you back into weakness. Stay committed. Build the habits. Hold the line when it's uncomfortable. Say yes to discipline when everyone else chooses ease. You will become rare, powerful without proving it, respected without speaking. Unstoppable not because you're perfect, but because you're consistent. Discipline is not the goal, it's the foundation for every goal. The backbone of character, success, respect, and inner peace. And now it belongs to you. Before leaving, make this commitment. Drop in the comments: I live by discipline. I rise, I command. I endure. If this video woke something inside you, gave you a truth you hadn't heard, made you feel stronger, seen, or clearer, do 3 things now. Like this video, comment your affirmation, subscribe, and share with someone who needs this mindset. The world doesn't need more comfort seekers, needs warriors, leaders, thinkers, builders. It needs you disciplined, awake, and ready. Go live it. Never let your feelings dictate your fate again.